So thank you for accompanying us in this little interview, this machine. Could you introduce yourself in a few words?
Yeah, my name is Paddy the Suicide Machine Morrow. I come from Ireland. I've been doing the British style of professional wrestling for the last 7-8 years. For NWA, I've worked a couple of countries. I've worked Germany, America, Canada. Great tour of France there last October, this tour now. So I've been wrestling a long time and working along the sides of Fergal Devitt in New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's trained me with Paul Tracy. And now I'm just doing the tours with AWR. So it's been great, the fans have been great over here. We're getting a great reaction and a bit of luck. With a bit of TV publicity, we'll get our names out there a bit more in the near future.
Okay. Where this passion of wrestling come from?
Well, the passion I have, I've been a wrestling fan since the age of 2-3 years of age. Been watching the British style of wrestling and following WWE. It's very popular over in England and Ireland. They do tours a lot over there, so I used to go to the shows a lot. I was heavily influenced by Shawn Michaels and Bret the Hitman Hart and the lighter guys who can actually move. Most of the Intercontinental Champions, the smaller guys who can high fly and tell a story with psychology, they just draw me in as a kid and I've never looked back since.
What do you like in this sport entertainment? Is it the action, the show?
Well, when we do the style of British wrestling we do, it's more mat-based wrestling, so I was kind of dragged into the drama side of it, the WWE, the American style, which is more characters than actual wrestling. It's more show, it's for the families, but I trained the British way, which is the grappling way. I'm a technician, so I was shown how to actually wrestle in the ring. I just got into training and, doing the athletic side of it, and it all slowly fell together. I became a high flyer and went to America, did a couple of American tours. So it's a mixture of both the hard work and the mat wrestling to the high flying. And what the kids basically look to see, they look to see the characters, and it just threw me in completely as a kid, and I've never looked back,
Okay. As a wrestler, do you prefer be a heel or the nice man?
Well, I've been both. The last 7 years I've been both, but mainly a face because I like to bump a lot. I like to take crisp bumps. I love to get the sympathy from a crowd. I feel I can get great psychology in a ring where I can build the crowd up to the big cut-off bump. So I love to high fly, so I really like being a face. So I like bumping around and selling. That's my main point, because I'm not a big guy. I don't tend to do a lot of power moves. I tend to sell and get the reaction from the crowd for the big finish, so mainly a good guy. I like being a good guy.
Okay. Could you tell us a little more about the AWR, this federation? What does it mean to you?
This means the world to me. We've created a great bond on the road for the last 3 tours with AWR. We're a close-knit family. There's no politics backstage. We're all good friends. There's not one person who we all frown upon. We're all good friends, and it's a great family of wrestlers. It's a great bunch of friends, and it's an absolute pleasure to step in there and anybody in the roster. You shake hands beforehand, you shake hands afterhand. You go out, you have a good time, and it's a great atmosphere backstage as in the ring. There's no backstage politics, so everybody's good guys here. So it's a great promotion, and it should hopefully go further and further.
What do you think about this French tour, the second French tour actually?
It's brilliant. We've been getting great houses. We're getting great fans, great gate. There's a lot of people coming to see us. Hopefully, with this tour, we can go on to do bigger and better things. And we were on W9 a couple of nights back, and we've got great reaction from that. So with a bit of luck, you can grow and grow. But the fans over this side of the world they're different everywhere you go. But they've been nothing but respectful here. They swarmed the wrestlers for autographs afterwards, and nothing but thanks and praise, and they respect our wishes. They don't bother us during the show. After the show, we come up, we sign autographs, we pose for pictures, and they're just absolutely great fans. There's nobody trying to come backstage, and there's no fights with the crowd. They all love to sit down, enjoy the crowd, enjoy the show, pop around. They come around after the show, we sign some autographs, and they're just the most respectful fans you can find. It's awesome to work in front of the French. It's brilliant.
Did you ever imagine such a passion for wrestling in France?
I didn't. I never thought I'd ever wrestle in France, to be honest, because back home in Ireland, although there's a big following in American wrestling, there's not a lot of people that go to the shows. So you'd work, in Ireland, you'd work in front of 100, 200 people, I think the most people I've ever wrestled in front of in Ireland was 400 people. So when you come over here and you see the reaction we get, and you see wrestling in front of 4,000, 5,000 people each night over here, it just blows us away. So hopefully we can come back and do more tours. It can only get better and better. So that's the plan, you know. So fingers crossed they'll come back and see us if we give them a good show.
It's very difficult for us to see wrestling, so that's why there are many people here. We have some wrestling federation, but it's very small. You haven't any show, in fact, or even manager or some wrestlers. So we have with the AWA or the NWE maybe three or 4 occasions to see a real show. So that's why everybody is crazy.
Yeah, a lot of production goes into it. You know, a lot of posters, especially with the TV as well. So
yes.
Hopefully they get like a little known. So with Sean, my tag partner. So hopefully with the TV, if it gets played a couple of times, we'll get a name for ourselves over here. So
Hope so.
fingers crossed, we'll get bigger and bigger. That's the plan before we break our necks.
What style of wrestling match do you prefer? Ladder, team, or lone?
A lot of different types, you know, different types of match bring different types of psychology. So I like to work singles matches mainly, you know, so I can get the beat and get the sympathy from the crowd, build them up to the big finish. There's nothing better than teasing the crowd back and forth. But you can do that with a tag match if you're in there with 3 great guys with the same mentality and the same type of training to get the crowd going. It's the same as a singles match. You know, you're in there with 3 great guys and of course a very good referee who can make all these sequences work and make a fan of the crowd jump up and sit down and boo and cheer. If you can make the crowd do that, any type of match is great. You know, it could be triple threat, tag team, anything. As long as you're in there with good guys, you know how to say, look after you, and you're safe with your body, safe with their body, and as long as you get the big cheer at the end of the match, any type of match works for me.
What advice could you give to a French who want to become a wrestler today?
But a lot of guys, it's pretty the same around the world. A lot of young guys, they try and do backyard wrestling. They get their camcorders with their friends and they do all these silly maneuvers on tables and they really do injure themselves. If they're serious about professional wrestling, they must go to a training school. You've got to stick to a diet. You've got to keep working out, you know. You've got to keep going training. It's looking after yourself and your opponent at the end of the day, and if you can't get the proper training, then you're not going to go far. If you go out there, you can do all the head scissors, hurricanranas, all you like. It looks impressive. But if you're hurting yourself, you're hurting your opponent, then it doesn't mean nothing, you know. Great wrestlers can realise they can see a guy who can protect themselves as well as work. But if they see a guy who can do the moonsaults and injure themselves and injure their opponent, then they will not go anywhere in wrestling. Nobody will want to work with them, and they're going to hurt themselves. By the time they're 22 years of age, 23, they're going to be so badly injured that a lot of wrestlers go down the road of painkillers and they get injuries or whatever, but promoters will not want to work with those guys if they can't work. So what I'd say is get to a gym, train, get to a training facility and listen to the teacher knows exactly what he's saying. Listen to your teacher and you'll go really far if you stick with it and believe in yourself.
Okay, no backyard wrestling, training facility.
No, it's ridiculous if you get hurt. Everybody knows that backyard you're only going to get hurt. You're training yourself to do something completely wrong to the way it should be done, and you're only going to hurt yourself and your opponent and get a bad name for yourself. So stick to a gym, go to a training facility with a great wrestler, and listen to him and let him take you under his wing and pay your dues. That's the way I learned.
Do you have a website or blog for your fan to follow your career?
Well, there's a lot of stuff on the American Wrestling Rampage, which is American Wrestling Rampage. It's awrwrestling.com. You can find a lot of stuff about me. If you want to contact me, you go there. But I have a Bebo site, which is big in Ireland. It's not so big over here, but it's suicidemorrow at suicidemorrow@bebo.com. And you can reach me on that, and you can interact with me there. So
Okay.
a couple of my matches are there. And
As Continuity Planet, so CMP promote the wrestling industry in France, do you have a few words for your fan while listening?
if there's any fans listening out there, I really appreciate the support you're giving me as well as my partner, Sean Maxer, who are pretty much 2 guys who come from Ireland. We've never been on big tours, but we've on 3 big tours at AWR. Other than that, we're pretty much taking advice from everybody out there. So when we come to the court, we're giving it all. We can only do nothing but get better. So we really appreciate the applause and the respect And with a bit of luck, if we keep getting more tours, we can grow and grow. Thanks to you guys, we can probably go further in the world of professional wrestling. So thank you, all the people of France.
Thank you so much.